What's up, you guys? This is RuRoniK95 here, and once again, it is time for a manga review video. Today, we're going to be doing a manga review on Inuyasha Volume 11. Yes, I have reread this manga before because I'm going to give you a quick little thing for this, because even though I have already reviewed 10 volumes of the Inuyasha manga, I'm going to be reviewing this manga right here, because in this manga chapter, the Typhoon, this is where Inuyasha, where we left off is where Inuyasha has been, along with Kagome, Sango, and Moroku, who wanted to figure out a way of how they can defeat this demon who took the form of a serpent, especially in the water, especially for what Inuyasha had a lot to do for this particularly, as well as Sango has the whole determined to defeat this monster with a giant boomerang. If anything goes, matters how this goes. But this wasn't long, particularly until she got attacked by that weapon. Well, Inuyasha had to save Sango from getting hurt, especially of how this villain takes the form of a snake in that one, because this explains to the fact for this, because it's Inuyasha defeating the snake demon in that one, because, this particularly for when Inuyasha has to defeat the demon snake serpent creature, he had to use the Tetsaiga to kill the snake demon, and then Moroku uses the wind tunnel to outpowered, and this is how it was before Inuyasha has saved Master Taromaru, if I could pronounce it, especially for how with the whole chaos and the carnage has passed. However, in The Wind and the Wound, this explains why, for how things just has gone quite well for when Sango has to encounter a demon rat. Especially in this chapter as well, because this is how you wanted to come by for this as well, as particularly of how Moroku has to defeat this demon creature thing as well, that almost looked like a praying mantis in that one, and he had to use the wind tunnel, but something has caught in his hand, particularly of how the injuries it cut the hole in it when he has to overpower it with the wind tunnel. By this time, of course, of how this has been the whole dilemma of how it hurts as well. The next day, for when Inuyasha wanted to figure out a way of how Moroku was up to something, when Inuyasha, Sango, Kagome, and Shippo wanted to figure out about where did Moroku was up to, but that wasn't long until they encountered Naraku in that one. However, in the Temple of Innocence, Moroku has to figure out a way, particularly of how there's something going on at how he's been growing up in the temple in this one as well, because it's just basically how this has gotten to the thing for this, of how he wanted to realize if Master Mushin is okay, because especially for how the opening was cut by a demon on one of his heels. There's something. He thought that Moroku's gonna die tonight in this one. Especially for this one, a case, if you wonder as well, because this all has got to this as well. As far as I know, Inuyasha, Sango has noticed what they're up to something when they were battling with Naraku, and then they noticed Naraku's golem in that one, particularly of how this has gone to this curiosity as well. And by this time for the course, there's something about the painkillers that Moroku had something about the wound. Particularly when this is how it was before Master Mushin was possessed by some kind of demon that has the monster possession that takes the control in the mind of Master Mushin in that one, because if I'm pronouncing it, when Master Mushin was in the under the possession curse on that one, because it looks like he was about to kill Moroku in that one. So this leads to the chapter To the Rescue as well. When he was about to slay Moroku, but Moroku is still awake because he was still alive, about how something's manipulating Master Mushin, who is Moroku's foster father, because he was being manipulated by some kind of demons that take the control in the mind of Master Mushin. Especially of how this chaos has been happening for all this as well. And at this point, of course, Inuyasha has realized something of what's gone on to this as well. You know, especially for how this carnage has happened in that one, because this all has got to... When Inuyasha has to defeat those kinds of demons, you know, like this as well, particularly as well, because I just wanted to come by for this as well. And at this point, for the same things as well, because it's how Inuyasha has to defeat those demons on there that take the form of these other kinds of monsters in that one with his Tetsaiga. And then, however, in Scroll 6, Earn Grubs, Inuyasha realized particularly of how, what he could have realized of how, if Moroku was still alive as well. And Sango is has a lot to do for this. When Kagome had to realize that they were figuring out how they were worried about Moroku. And Inuyasha has to figure out a way about how Master Mushin was being possessed under the manipulated minds of these demons in that one. Because this how has got to... When Inuyasha has to take control of how he would have ever to fight those demons that take the possession of Master Mushin with claws of steel, as you noticed in that one, because, you know, it's just basically he could overpower those demons in that one, particularly. And at that point, of course, this all has got to how it seems to be in the whole poking around in the thing for the whole roundabout kind of thing. They found out about this other creature that is the one that has the control possession on Master Mushin in that chapter of this as well. Yeah, because Inuyasha realized that the rosary was sucking away his demonic powers in this chapter as well. This is how Inuyasha has to figure out a way if he could fight those demons that have been taking the mind of Master Mushin as well. Oh, and this all has... So, Moroku has to use the Windscar Tunnel to overpower the demons that have been possessing Master Mushin in that one. And then Inuyasha has to figure out a way how he could have has to defeat all those demons with the Tetsaiga in that one particularly as well. Because, you know, it's just basically he has a good determination to defeat those demons as well. Once the demons were defeated, Inuyasha has to figure out a way of how he has to defeat the Uren, U-R-N Keeper, if I'm not pronouncing it. Yeah, especially in the manga, because U-R-N Keeper those demons has been responsible for the possession of Moroku's foster father monk, Master Ushin, if I can't pronouncing it. Yeah, because, but he was, but Master Ushin was particularly recovered because he's not possessed anyways. Yeah, because when Master Ushin has to realize of how that he has the whole great expectation thing of how he could tell Inuyasha that there's the only way that Inuyasha can defeat Naraku in that one, as how this hell has got to this as well, because it's so true in any other case as well, about the mystic tunnel in Moroku's hand was created by Naraku's curse. And although if the curse was broken, Naraku's life has been saved after all, and for this as well. Particularly when something wrong. This has something wrong to Moroku's hand in that one, because how this happens in the manga as well. Scroll 8, Kohaku. In this part, at this time, of course, when Inuyasha realized of how, could have thought of how, when not been killed, especially when Moroku's heels have been healing up. When Sango was about to be in the hot springs as well, she has a huge scar on her back from the previous beginning when she has realized the memories of her brother Kohaku. As well, because in the end, when this was happened at Naraku's castle, when Naraku has been possessed by a demon, made him kill his father and the other companions, because Kohaku was an only child, particularly of how from the very beginnings of how this is going on in this chapter, particularly. For any other case as well. And at this point, of course, for all that as well, when Inuyasha, Sango, Shippo, Moroku, and Kagome has to figure out a way about there was something happening in the village of how there was some slaughter going on in this one, because it's just basically of how something wicked happened and something evil particularly, and this is how the conflict between there was the chain sickle when Inuyasha has countered Kohaku, because Kohaku didn't realize of how he has took off with the Shikon. There was a Shikon shard on his body when he was slaughtered the villagers in that one, because if Sango could have realized about if Kohaku is dead or alive, but it turns out Kohaku was alive in this chapter particularly. And at this point, for the whole thing for this as well, and then she realized that Kohaku has been controlled by Naraku in that one. When Inuyasha figured out a way about how there was something happening about how what Sango has found out that Kohaku has been controlled by Naraku in this chapter as well. And at this point particularly, of how his brother's life from the very beginning for what Kohaku had, particularly of how this has gotten to this, and it's take matters worse in its hands when Sango was never a thief, when she had to use a giant boomerang to put an end to this, and then she thought that Kohaku was defending Naraku in that one, because this is all, it's just basically for how this all has got to this as well. And at this point, of course, when she could have figured out a way about how there was something happened with Kohaku ever since, because despite that Kohaku was originally Sango's brother in that one, because this hell has got to this. And by this time, of course, if they could have figured out a way of how they could have ever had the battle to defeat Naraku, especially for what Inuyasha had a lot to do, for how they could figure out a way when Sanga was chasing after to have a search for her brother in this chapter. Scroll 10, Sango's betrayal. And at this point, for what they were figuring out a way about if she could have saved her brother when he was being controlled under the problems of Naraku in that one, because Kohaku is being in the possession of Naraku when those because this is how it was when Inuyasha has to defeat those other demons in that and monsters in that one with his Tetsaiga when he was battling with Kohaku, in that one when he could have almost killed Kohaku, but Kohaku was still alive in that one. And as the chaos continues, there was because Inuyasha was trying to cut off the Shikon shard off out of Kohaku's body in that one, and then Sango has to put a stop to this because when Kohaku has disappeared once again, but then this all has happened in that one as well, if you take note on this as well. And for when Sango has to figure out a way, if she could have ever searched for her brother Kohaku, as how to make matters goes is this. When she arrives at the castle, because she realized that Naraku was there in this chapter. And that's how you end in this manga. Well, the story was getting very complex, very well written in this manga, like Inuyasha Volume 11. The characters are very introduced on here, because we all know Naraku is in that one, as well as Shippo and Sango and Miroku in that one, because especially of how there's every characters, like whether it's anthropomorphic or if it's human characters, demon characters, monster characters, that any kinds of how this has progressed in the Inuyasha manga, that's why. And also, according to that, the story is very well written and it's very good. It gets better for the certain manga like Inuyasha has a lot for this particularly, for when you come by to this accordingly. For how you want to come by for a manga like Inuyasha, this takes the cake, particularly of how. My score for the manga, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So in this conclusion on here, Inuyasha Volume 11, in my opinion, this is another one that I have wanted to come across for how I've been revisiting by rereading the manga, though, because, especially in this review, because even though I have already reviewed all 10 of the previous volumes of Inuyasha, this takes the cake, because I just wanted to come by for a review of manga like Inuyasha, and this just gets very better and better, because this is how you want to come by for this, that's why, hasn't it? So that's going to be it for today. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, especially if you're new to my channel. I've been literally getting the Blu-ray now, from World Cinema, Ralph Bakshi films from the 70s and 80s, metal albums from CD to vinyl records, to from new wave of British heavy metal to Scandinavian black metal, Norwegian black metal, a lot of good stuff as well. And I'm also getting into merchandise from Vivzipop, from Has-Been Hotel to Hell of a Boss. And I'm also getting into Italian cinema, from Ruggiero Deodato to Dario Argento, as well as other good ones as well. And I'm also getting into Battle Jacket update videos, because I've been getting into collecting patches for my Battle Jacket. Because I've been literally getting into the Battle Jacket updates, that's why. And I have a whole different collecting hobbies and the variety of it, and more as well. Not just collecting anime and manga and video games in general, that's why. And also, smack the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the notifications bell button. Be sure to get notified also as well for more latest updates, just to keep you notified. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Just let me know if you like as well. Be sure to check out my Anime Planet or Analyst, because I've been getting a letterbox, that's why. And that's all I have what I got for today. This is Rurouni K95 saying thank you for watching my video, and I'm glad you liked it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Be sure to stay safe and stay healthy, and have a great day. Ta-ta for now for this manga review, because we're long overdue for a new video, that's why. This is Rurouni K95 signing off, and thank you for watching my video, and I will see you soon for more videos that I got on plan for what's in store. Take care. Stay tuned for more videos that I got on plan, because I've been doing something that I haven't done, because we're long overdue for a new video, that's why. Take care. Bye.